Roy, let's start with Brittney Griner. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you been involved with trying to facilitate Brittney Griner's release from a Russian prison?
Yes, I have been trying to facilitate that situation. Yes, I have.
Roy, in what ways have you been trying to help? Obviously, you're in a unique position because you are a dual citizen in the U.S. and also in Russia as well.
Yeah, and because of that, that's why I hear people, but it's like when you can kind of talk to both sides, it's a beautiful thing because somebody has to have a connection or the poor girl be lost with no chance to get back home. And I don't like seeing nobody in that situation. If it were my daughter, I would want anybody that has any connections to do anything they could to try to get my daughter home. So it's like I had a friend, a couple of my friends that I knew, I called and I asked them, is there any way we can try to facilitate, because I don't do politics, I'm a sports figure and they love me as a sports figure. So is there any way we can use my sports influence to possibly see, can we get anything arranged to help get Brittney home? And so my friend called and he called me back and said, yes, they said they will be willing to do a prisoner exchange. I said, well, it's probably rough because the prisoner they exchange is probably a real prisoner. She's not necessarily a person that is a real prisoner, but right. I'm sure that maybe the U.S. would be understanding of this and try to get her back home, because I'll be terrified if my kid was stuck in a foreign country in jail,
Absolutely. I know you have a relationship with President Vladimir Putin. Have you been in contact with Vladimir Putin, Roy?
No, I don't talk to him directly like that. It's like I never was the kind of person that could talk to him. I don't talk to him a lot directly. Just since the passport, he got me the passport. That's the only time I've talked to him direct. I know people that work with him, people that work for him, people that work around him. So, and I have friends of people that work for him around. So I had my friends reach out to his people. And that's how I do. I don't talk to him directly like that because, like I said, I never needed to because I'm not into the politics. I do more of like I said, I'm a sports figure. They love me for my sports accomplishments. And we understood that. I told him when he first offered me the citizenship that I didn't want to be into the politics. I want to do it for sports reasons. And this is a sports situation, meaning that she's a basketball player. So that's why this came to fruition like it did.
Got it. Who you talked about your friends, Roy, who have who are inside Russia and may have some power and some sway. Who are those people? Can you not necessarily names, but what is it? People in the government that you've talked to? Who have you been working with to get Brittney out of jail?
One of my guys is like he's a right-hand man to the office of Mr. Putin, so he can he's high up on a political scheme. He's a reporter, and he usually does most of the reporting for Mr. Putin. So he can go make direct contact with whoever's necessary to help me facilitate the deal. He's the one who told me that they would do it for a prison swap. He's the one who understood that for me. So What he told my friend, I got a friend in Miami. He told my friend in Miami to tell me that they do it for Miami for a prisoner swap. So my friend in Miami called me and said, hey, they should do it probably, but they'll do it on a prisoner swap. I said, okay, well, our government is keen or is interested in doing it at all, because if it's any way possible, I would like to help try to get her home.
Before I let you go, anything else you'd like to say about Brittney Griner, about Ukraine, Russia, about anything else? Any other comments?
I just love everybody, especially my own country. I know what that girl's family has to be going through right now, and I feel for them. Would I put my life on the line to take a chance to go to Russia to exchange prisoners for her? Yes, I would. Why? Because if it was my daughter, I want somebody to do the same thing for me. And I'd be glad that somebody has a close enough connection or is liked enough that the people will respond to that person on behalf of my daughter. You understand where I'm coming from? So if that were my daughter, I would gladly hope that somebody will be willing to risk their life for the safety of my child.
Wow. And just to be clear, so Roy, you're saying you would actually, if it meant you going to Russia and actually going to get Brittney Griner, you would do that?
Gotta do what I gotta do, baby. If it was my kid, I want somebody to do the same thing for me.